Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures.
Over the last 7 years, we have consistently released weekly episodes focusing on
obstacle course racing, running, and other adventures.
You'll hear interviews, event recaps, conversations about our sport,
quick news updates about happenings in our community.
And now, here are your hosts,
Standing on the corner,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter.
And Caitlin, how was your weekend?
It was good. How was your weekend?
Exhausting. I was an idiot and woke up super early for a race on Saturday. I got there with like 10 minutes to spare. Things were going well. Unfortunately, I was 24 hours early. It was a Sunday race, not a Saturday race, so I drove
That's my husband.
about 50 minutes to get to Falmouth. And it was not that day, which was a bummer. But I ran it today. It was good, but I'm exhausted because, one, I haven't been sleeping much this week. And two, the 20K took a lot out of me. I got pushed pretty hard towards the end, and my legs hurt. My legs hurt a lot. How was your weekend?
You already asked me that.
Okay.
Said it was good. It was. I had a low-key weekend. Went to BJ's, ate your grandmother's French toast for the first time.
Yes, yeah. My favorite French toast by far. Let's shout out the sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. And Caterpie. Use code OCR Report 20 for 20% off your Caterpie purchase.
Yeah, and quick shout out to the people that have been using the Mudgear code. We really appreciate that.
Yes, we do.
And to the $5 plus Patreon supporters, because it's not the first of the month yet.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Kenny West, Cheryl Miller, Jessica Johnson,
who I wished a happy belated birthday to.
Nick Riker, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Evan Irick, Brent George, Logan Nagel, Asa Cuddington, and Seth Rinderknech.
Yeah. And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internets.
And to Will Higgs.
The Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com. They're doing some posting about the New Jersey Spartan, which we were not at this weekend. And to our sponsored athletes, Javier Escobar.
Kelly Sullivan, who crushed the New Jersey Ultra.
Of course she did. Ryan Brzezlara.
And Joshua Reed.
Yeah. No poll results and no meme of the week. I'm pretty tired. This is going to be relatively shorter intro and quick news. Speaking of quick news, let's get to the quick news. The Spartan Ultra World Championship medals for those going to Amorzine, France. Caitlin, have you seen these?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, take a peek.
Oh.
Yeah, isn't that really nice?
That is really nice.
It's purple because that is their Ultra color.
Yeah.
The lanyard says Spartan 2024 Ultra World Championships, hosted by Amorzine Avoria. It's tough with the picture, but it looks very nice.
It does look very
nice.
nice.
It's got like a big belt buckle. It's a big boy. That's very nice. Links to see that down below.
I like that the medal doubles as a belt buckle, like it's one piece.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. And I'm sure that's their way of saving money too.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Smart. And then other than that, just a whole bunch of podiums. Let's start with the Saturday Spartan Palm Beaches Sprint.
In third place for men, Noel Medina. In second place, Col de Rosa. And in first place, Alvaro Vasquez. And for the women, in third place, Cara Van Dujerut.
Pretty good.
In
pretty
second
close.
place, Camilla Piera. And in first place, Kaysen Gulvenkinia.
And for the Sunday Sprint, which is somewhere here.
For the men, in third place, Chris Harris. In second place, Col de Rosa. And in first place, Noel Medina. And for the ladies, in third place, Melissa Trinidad. In second place, Brandy Powers. And in first place, Emily Wheeler.
All right, let's get on over to the New Jersey, aka Tri-State Ultra.
In third place for men, Adam Kolb. In second place, Benjamin Gonzalez. And in first place, Joshua Fiore. And for the women, in third place, Kelly Sullivan. In second place, Adrian Doherty. And in first place, Doherty. And in first place, Amber Young.
Awesome. And now the Spartan New Jersey Beast.
For the men, in third place, Ben Fox. In second place, Chris Marone. And in first place, Elmer King. And for the women, in third place, Taylor Phoebus. In second place, Beatrice Mayon Sylvester. And in first place, Lisa Musacchio.
So, yeah, congratulations to everyone there. Sounds like it was a really successful weekend. There's also 5 secret links down below, so go and check those out. But let's get to what this episode is all about. So this is part 2. I'm just going to say the same stuff as last time, in case, I don't know, someone just wants to listen to part 2 and not part 1. But this is the 3rd New England OCR Expo that has been put on, and this is the first time that I've been on the board and put so much effort into it. We had a bunch of vendors, many guests, a deck of strong, a 100-meter course, SGX warm-up thing, and much more. And Caitlin manned the table while I did interviews. But we also had a computer set up at the expo so anyone could come by and record a little something. Again, that didn't quite work out. So this is part 2. We will hear from athletes, speeches, and staff. So the first 14 minutes, you'll hear from Zack Wisnowski, Daniel Yarrick, Jesse, I'm sorry, I didn't get your last name, buddy, from the Super Smash Brothers, he is Link, and Mario Valentin from Super Smash Brothers, he's Mario, as you can imagine.
Do they run a team called Super Smash Brothers?
Yeah, I remember their media back in the day, I think seeing like City Challenge Race and stuff like that. Now they're just on Instagram. But
how are they not getting sued by Nintendo?
They're small enough that they're fine. But yeah, Nintendo is very legit. We're not even going to put that out there, Caleb. And then for the next section, which is 18 minutes, there is the speeches over the loudspeaker. So there's Oscar Mike, Josh Fiore, Ultimate Obstacles, Billy Richards. And I did cut out the last 35 minutes of his talk. It went kind of long, as well as our raffle winner. I also didn't want to air all of his talk because if he's going to start speaking in places, I don't want
you don't want people to hear it all.
It's already on here. Also something a little weird with the Josh Fiore part. But massive thank you to Darren. We'll get to him in a bit. But he's like, hey, do you want to plug in to the speaker? And I did. And on one track, it was just ear blowing loud. But on the second track, it came out perfectly. So really crisp. You can't really hear the audience laughing and clapping and whatever. You can just hear the mic. But I thought that's pretty good. I like
that better. I think.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that with the Tough Mudder too. We'll see if that goes better. And for the last 32 minutes, you'll hear from Darren, who I just mentioned, from Just Right Entertainment. I'm sorry I didn't have more questions for you. I messed up that one, not you this time. Michael Kantor, Robert Foster, who was the MC, Katie Callahan, who's part of the board, Josh Fiore, who gave his talk, Billy Richards, who gave his talk, Brad Lane from It Starts Here Fitness, who's running the DECA, Eric Matta from Ultimate Obstacles, and of course the head of Honcho, Steve Bacon. So let's get to those interviews.
Is he the president?
Yeah.
Didn't get the chance to talk to you at Underdog. Name and where you're from.
Zack Wisnowski from Central New Jersey.
And what are you here doing at the expo?
I'm hanging out, checking out all the OCR stuff. I just ran a DECA. I got close to my PR.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to doing the 100-meter course. Last time I did that was at OCR Worlds 2 years ago, so I'm excited to do that one again.
Okay.
And just supporting the sport, It's kind of on a decline. I'm hoping that changes.
Yeah. Love seeing you here. How do you think the course was set up? Obviously a big bar when we were just in Underdog Fitness, home with Kevin Gregory.
I thought this was set up really nice. It was flawless between the stations. The tank is set up kind of reverse, but kind of messed me up at first, but it's good. I like the course. It was seamless. I got a fast time, so.
Awesome. And how are you enjoying your time, meeting everybody here? Is it good community?
Yeah, it's cool. Since I'm from Jersey and this is in the Northeast further up, there's some faces that I don't recognize, but there's a lot that I do because, people come to Jersey and do Vernon, and I'll come up here and do Fit Challenge and Bar, Battle Frog, and Spartan over there. So yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces and some new ones.
And how cool is it that just coming to this expo gets you a free race to Barron too?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I mean, that's really awesome because we need more people coming out, helping the sport grow.
Yeah, absolutely. What's up next for you for events now?
So I have tomorrow. Actually, I'm hosting an event in New Jersey that's kind of the same format as a DECA Mile. It's called the Atlas Throwdown. It's free. I make medals. I give them out. So that's cool. But then I have the 50K trail race for Spartan up in Bear Mountain, New York. And then I have a 50 miler in Philly called Dirty German. And then I have the 12-hour Toughest Mudder in Philly. And then Tactical Games, Pennsylvania. So that's the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm back to back to back.
It's such a variety. It makes me think of Kelly Sullivan, who's also a badass in terms of ultras and hybrid fitness and this and that. Where's your heart? If you could only do one style of event, what are you looking at?
So which is funny because me and Kelly are both sponsored by Titan. So it's funny that we're both Swiss Army knives of racing, where we'll do an ultra, then a hybrid race, and then a tactical race. I don't know if I could really pick one because my heart is in so many places. Same with my training. I love to lift weights, but I also like to run, and I also like to shoot. So I think if I had to pick one, it would probably be tactical games. It mashes everything except for ultra running, but it has weightlifting, running, hybrid stuff, shooting. So it has like a technical skill, strength skill, endurance skill. So for me, I think it would be tactical games, which I know is kind of outside the realm of OCR, but hopefully that starts to grow also.
But not all that much. I just talked to Sean, who was there earlier. They were here earlier, who recently switched to tactical games, and he's loving it. And I followed Matt Kempson and Karina Coffin for a long time too, and they're killing it there. And I've always wanted to cover one of their events. I know they have one in New Hampshire, but a unique style of fitness and shooting, and that's one thing to shoot, but it's another thing to shoot with a high heart rate, right?
Yeah, to shoot under duress. So you have to be safe with your firearms, but you also have to be comfortable enough to where you're in race brain, and you have to shoot at these targets that are very small. It's very technical shooting. But when I saw tactical games, it was from Killian. Killian was the first person that I saw. And what's funny is whenever I go to tactical games, there's always Spartan shirts. There's definitely Spartans that do tactical games.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it definitely crosses over.
And then plug your event that you're having next weekend again, too.
So it's called Atlas Endurance Training Throwdown. So if you go on Instagram or Facebook and follow Atlas Endurance Training, it's tomorrow, so I know nobody here is going to be able to go to it. But over the winter time, I wanted to host events since there weren't that many, and especially like DECA style events, since hybrid is kind of growing more. So I've been doing free events down by me, Central New Jersey, right by Englishtown Raceway Park. And it's a DECA style. You can do it as many times as you want. I'm at the park for a couple hours. I bring all the equipment, and I even make little medals to give out. So check the Instagram and the Facebook, and I'll post when the next one is. This one is the 21st, which is Sunday. But I'll let you guys know. Probably in June I'll have another one.
Where can people find you on social media?
I'm Zack Wisnowski, or Zack Wiz 1389 on Instagram, ZACKWYZ 1389. Instagram is really where I post, so just go to Instagram.
Oh, and plug for Titan.
Titan 6 Actual, great sponsor. They make awesome clothing for rucking and OCR. They sponsor DECA Ruck, which is an awesome event. You should definitely go get your DECA Trifecta, but also your Ruck Trifecta, because that's growing huge. But yeah, Titan's great for inspiration, motivation. It's a really cool follow. So that's Titan 6 Actual.
Great seeing you, Zack.
Yeah, thank you.
Daniel Yarrick, Lockhaven, Pennsylvania.
And how are you enjoying your time at the Expo today?
Loving it. Just out here to have fun for myself, and representing myself and the bariatric community, but also representing Spartan and Tough Mudder.
Yeah. So real quick, talk about your weight loss journey. I think that's a really awesome story.
Yeah, so my weight loss journey, it all started out back in 2021. I really had some major issues. I hit my ultimate high of 525 pounds. I promised my wife that I'd go see the doctor. I was told right then and there when I went for my first ever physical, and I haven't been to a doctor for like 10 plus years. If I don't do something about it now, I'll basically have like 5 years before I have a massive stroke or a heart attack. So I said, perfect. I said, I want to, look into having weight loss surgery. Ended up April 27th of 2022. I had to lose 10% of my own body weight. Went in at surgery weight at 423 pounds. And now I'm down into the average of about 200 to 208 pounds. But I hit my all-time low of 184, but now I'm bulked up and just a lot more stronger.
Yeah. So, and talk about it, we had a guest on last week. I'm sorry, I can't think of your name, sir, who also lost weight with surgery, and it's still not easy. So talk about like the changes that you have to do with your life.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, they think that, when you take the weight loss surgery, they think you're taking the easy way out. In all reality, you're not. It's actually a lot harder to train as an athlete for the OCRs because you're limited on what you can do on your diet. You can't eat the high fats, you can't eat the high carbs because your body just doesn't like it and it will literally make you sick. So there's a lot more technicality when it comes into training for it, and it's a lot harder because you can, have your body crash on it. But, it's just one of those, you just take it day by day and you learn what your body can and can't do.
Yeah. And so you took on the 100-meter course today. How did it go for you?
It actually went very well. I was actually very surprised because I've never done a ninja style race in my life. So, doing it in, I think it was 2 minutes and 46 seconds, I'll take it. And, next time I'm going to go better.
Awesome. And you said you didn't do the DECA today, but...
DECA I did.
Oh, you did do the DECA?
Yep.
How did that one go too?
The DECA went good. I had a couple minor equipment difficulties. It wasn't set up right, but I got it down to, 18 minutes and 26 seconds.
That's pretty damn good. Have you done a lot of those in the past? Or?
I've done 4.
Okay.
And I've done the DECA mile. This year will be my first ever trifecta for the DECAs, so I'm adding in the fit for this year.
Oh, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania?
Carolinas.
Oh, Carolinas. Okay.
Yep. I'll go to
That's
Carolinas
awesome,
because I'll be down in West Virginia for when the Philadelphia one's going.
Okay. Yeah. How would you feel about like a New England DECA fit?
I'd be all for it. I'd definitely come for it if they would, bring it up into the New England side. I think it'd be a great spot. I mean, granted, you got Philly close by, but I still think you would have a great turnaround.
Yeah, because Philly's I think it's 6 hours from here. I was talking to Zack about that too. It's close, but I think we could do better, and there seems to be a lot of interest in more Deca Fit, so hopefully.
Yeah, I agree fully.
What else do you have planned for events for the rest of the year now?
What don't I have? Like I said, I got a lot of stuff coming up. Basically going to be busy every single weekend from started this weekend all the way up till basically October. And then it comes down to once a month. But I got 3 ultras coming up. I got a race in Toronto, Canada for Spartan. I got 3 Tough Mudders, a couple Savages, and I'm going for a total of 10 trifectas total through Spartan.
That's awesome. And where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on Facebook. Look me up as Dan Yarrick or Diesel Dan 92. You can also find me under Instagram as Dan_the Beast Yarrick. I also got my TikTok, Diesel Dan the Beast, and my YouTube channel, which I'm going to start putting more content out. That's going to be Spartan 92 _ volunteer firefighter.
Awesome. Well, keep up the great work with the weight loss, and hope to run into you at another event sometime.
Awesome. Thank you.
I'm Jesse from the Super Smash Brothers from Connecticut, the Dirty Waters, Waterbury.
AKA?
Link is my avatar.
Here we go.
It's Mario from Connecticut, Waterbury, Connecticut, and you already know who it is. Super Mario.
How are you enjoying your time at the Expo today?
It's been a great day, man. I love seeing the community out here doing the damn thing. We definitely had good fun on the 100-meter race. We didn't get to check out the Deca, but, I've done Decas before, so.
All right.
Yeah, I did the 100-meter course. I did enjoyed it very much so. A little bit nervous on that warp wall because I actually had an injury back in 2018 doing the warp wall. So I was a little antsy,
right.
Just approaching it, but was able to get it, felt pretty good. And as far as Deca, I talked to a lot of first-timers that were doing it and, a lot of nerves at the start line. But once you get going, as you know, you've done it. I see you got your medal on. So once you get going, the nerves go away and you just get after it. But I was a judge, actually, for Zack, and he actually got top time, it looks like.
Wisnowski?
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna take full credit for being an excellent motivator, but it might have had something to do with it. But no, he definitely killed it. Very efficient through the stations, and it was actually good to get a front row seat at how it's supposed to be done. So I'll have to incorporate that for the next run.
What do you think about all the vendors and the people that came out here?
I definitely appreciate the vendors out here. I got a nice little medal from a Canadian race, man race. It was definitely worth the trip to come out here. Yeah, it's X-Man. I like X-Man. So yeah, that's it's been really good out here. It's been a really good day for vendors.
All right. What vendors have been your favorite?
As far as favorite, I mean, they've all been really good, but Race Ready Obstacles, I was really happy to come and meet them. They actually have some of their stuff on the 100-meter course. So definitely good because I'm checking out the Midwest OCR. Well, actually, both of us are going to the Midwest OCR in October. Really looking forward to that. So just to get a little taste. But overall, it's been really good. You guys, I would say, probably are the, because you're covering the event. But no, in all reality, I've seen a lot of these guys on the course throughout the years of doing this. Been doing it 10 years now, so a lot of familiar faces. Really like the atmosphere and then the location. It's my understanding that this is the first time they introduced obstacles in Deca.
Yeah.
So this is definitely the way to go because I was pumped up for it. I definitely had a great time.
Yeah, last year was at a wedding venue, so it was fancy, but not fun. And for OCR, we want fun.
Yeah, we don't want fancy for sure. If anything, get some mud in here too, I mean, provided you got some wash stations at the end. But yeah, if you get some wash stations, you can throw some mud in there.
What other events do you have planned for the rest of the year, in addition to Midwest?
I'm definitely going to hit the New Jersey Beast, Spartan, of course. I'm going to do that one. I've got a couple of, I got races everywhere, to be honest with you. I enjoy the Decas. I'm going for the Deca Fit.
Nice.
I definitely am going to hit the other one we was going to do was in the Florida Beast at the end of the year as well. So yeah, a lot of.
If you were to go to Super Smash Bros. OCR, that's the handle. So we have our schedule in the bio there on Instagram anyway, and it lists all the different races. But yeah, we got a lot of Spartans coming up. We got Midwest OCR coming up, a bunch of Decas. So definitely a full race calendar for us.
A couple Go Ruck events in there. We love a ruck event too. So
this is a mother rucker right here. It's like we'll go training and all he ever wants to do is carry his 45-pound plate. There's something about it. That's his best friend.
And then personal question: I get Mario for Mario. Why Link?
Well, Link for me was one of my favorites. It came in a gold cartridge. I mean, I'm dating myself right now. For all those people that's born in the 1900s, your Zelda came in a gold cartridge. And it was the only gold cartridge on Nintendo. So that's why I did it, yeah.
I like that. And final thoughts on the Expo, what you thought about it, what you thinking for next year, why people should check it out?
I think people should definitely come, number one, to support the community, interact with the people that, you've been seeing on the race course, seeing them in a different environment. The addition of the obstacles is fantastic, so that was so fun. And then, I already ran into a couple of different race venues that I didn't know about. So there's one in Canada that I'm looking at right now, and it seems very interesting, good people. So, who knows, maybe I might make my way up north and head over there. But learning about new people that are part of the community is definitely the best part.
Final thoughts about the event?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, always looking for the new challenge and what's going to be the hardest thing to do, and that's what I want to do. That's what I'm looking for. And I found that here with a bunch of new races. I seen something I never seen before, a 7K race. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be down for that. And again, I love seeing the old faces, the new faces, the blue faces. I don't care. We here, out here. Yeah, the Smash Bros is getting it in.
We were doing pull-ups, push-ups, all the little challenges, you know what I mean? That's another thing is, I'm going to be honest, we kind of like the swag. So collect, like I always say, it's like trick or treat, you know what I mean? We grab we usually have a bag, we go to the different, we collect the stickers, whatever they have to offer. We'll do push-ups, burpees, whatever's needed, to collect the swag.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out, you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate that.
Great job, man. Take care.
Guest who wants to give us some words of wisdom on what they do with the Oscar Mike program. So we can give them your attention, please.
Louder. Yep, there we go. Okay. Thank you, guys. The Oscar Mike Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit. We have a mission of keeping wounded veterans on the move through adaptive sports. We have the nation's only all-veteran wheelchair rugby team. We do week-long clinics where we take 8 to 12 veterans out to our compound in Illinois, teach them how to fly a Cessna airplane, skydiving, ripping around on our razors on the property. But a big part of what we do is the OCR side. We take our veterans out on the course. They range from single leg amputees to invisible wounds to wheelchair athletes. If they're willing to go for it, then we're willing to do it. But come and stop over and see us over at our tent before it all closes up. But other than that, man, thank you very much.
Appreciate that love. Next up, we have Spartan Ultra World Champion, Josh Fiore.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Everybody have fun today? Yeah? All right. This is like way out of my wheelhouse, by the way. Doing like something this short. I actually got an ass kicked today, so.
I don't know.
Sorry,
I don't know how to do that.
So yeah, thank you. Other people did too. That's always good, yeah. So a little bit about myself, for those who don't know, my name is Josh Fiore. I'm elite ultra athlete. I've pretty much raced like some of the most gnarly ultra OCRs in the world. Love giving advice to people that are thinking about getting into ultra endurance, because obviously obstacle course racing, we have the short courses, but then there's the really long stuff, 30 miles, 24 hours. So I want to kind of lead this out to you. Like, what do you all have for like questions like about getting started? Is anybody interested in ultra this year? First ultra? Yeah? Second one, awesome. That's awesome. So what questions do you have for me then? Because I don't want to talk about myself this entire time. What do you have for me? Anybody? Get in my shorts. These are Nike. Yeah, like very fancy. So I guess just a little bit about, like, I was not a runner before I got into OCR. I was awful at running. I was actually in my 30s actually when I started it. So it's actually brought me a long way. My biggest, I guess, advice that I can give for any ultra endurance sports, or OCR especially, slow and go. Don't sign up for like the 2,400 miler. Start like a little bit slow. Start the beast, try the ultra, then try the 24. But really see like where your limit is first, and then keep going from there. It's a lot about time on feet. Everybody talks about mileage all the time, but it's really time. Time is the most critical part. If you're not putting the time out there, the course is going to chew you and spit you out. So you can do all the mileage you want, like running on flat, like and things like that, but really putting like the tough runs in the mountains. And obviously you have to have the upper body strength. So like things like pull-ups, I do pull-ups, push-ups every single day, basic stuff. All right. And then obviously having great coaches like they have here and other places. absolutely critical. If you haven't had a coach before, even as like an elite athlete, I had a coach for the first time a couple of years ago. It was the best decision I ever made. They'll look at you and say, wow, you're doing all the things you're great at. You're not doing the things that you suck at. So, and they'll also kind of reel you in a little bit too. So that's the best advice I can give. Yeah. Oh, good advice. Or good question, I should say. So if you're running ultras right now, a lot of times when we first run an ultra, it's just to survive. Like that was my first Killington Ultra. It was literally just surviving. Like it took me almost like 13 hours to complete my first one. I know. And then my best time now is 8 hours. So that was like, I went from like low in the standings to winning in 2016, like 3 years later. You have to put the time on feet. You have to. Like my longest run was like 10 miles. It wasn't that long. You have to get the endurance. You have to build up the endurance to be competitive in any ultra distance. But that's also a lot of OCR too. Even the shorter courses, there's running involved. Yeah, you have to be good at the obstacles, but a lot of it is running. So I think also like hiring a coach too is like biggest advice I can give. Yeah.
How much nutrition do you need to carry with you?
Good question. So one of my favorite things is having kind of an arsenal. So first of all, like I'll have liquid calories on me. So I usually use like Tailwind. I'm not sponsored by Tailwind, by the way, but I use Tailwind. I'll usually do like 250. I'll aim for 250 calories per hour, but that's also with like liquid stuff. I'll carry like a lot of natural food. I love like dates, things like trail mix and things like that. Things that like I know my stomach can handle, but the biggest advice I can give about nutrition, you have to try it before the race. So like your long runs before the race, you should be trying this stuff out, not the day of the race, because that's when you get the iron gut and you're puking your brains out in the bushes. So you have to. So I'll usually have like my running vest. I'll have 2 water bottles filled up with that Tailwind, and then I'll have like some nutrition like in the pockets right there, and just constantly eating. You're not going to feel like you need to eat while you're on the ultra course. You have to just keep eating, keep drinking, keep eating, keep drinking, repeat. And
How much you run in a daily basis?
So either like on a week or with training or yeah. So leading up to an ultra, like I base it more on time. So like I'm usually like starting out slowly. Just like with periodization, you need to like go like, usually the rule of thumb is like 10% every week. So I'll start out, if it's like the beginning of a training block, maybe like 5 to 7 hours, and then keep increasing. Like some like World's Toughest Mudder, where my goal is 100 miles of World's Toughest Mudder. I'm running up to like 80 miles a week for that. It's a lot of running, but that's how you get that extra mileage. You have to have that time on feet. That honestly, does everybody know who Chris Roglowski is? Good, yeah, I know. She's like the most badass woman in the world, right? She's a good friend of mine, and I actually told her when she got 100 miles, first woman to ever get 100 miles of World's Toughest Mudder. I know. I was going to tell her that everybody's clapping for her. This, she'll smile because she's injured right now, so she's a little bummed right now. But I watched the video afterwards because I had a bad race. I just had a bad race, and I watched her the entire time, and she was smiling. And that was my secret when I won in Iceland in the past. People said that to me. They're like, you were smiling the whole time. And I forgot that. So like you literally just smile. Like when you're suffering, you're hurting, you're trying to get that mountain, smile. It's amazing how much better you'll do. It's amazing. You'll literally trick your brain. You'll trick your brain. So just smile. Like just laugh at it. Be like, this is ridiculous. I'm on a mountain. Like I'm paid for this. I'm getting my ass kicked. Smile. Just have fun. If you're not having fun, why do it? Yeah, I love that. Thanks, Tony. Any other questions? I'm obviously, yeah.
So this doesn't apply to me, but for the longest time, I would do single lap OCRs thinking that I wasn't ever going to be able to do an ultra. The last few years I've started doing them. Could you please share what your biggest piece of advice and the biggest impediment for regular Joe Schmoes from preventing them from running ultra distance OCRs?
I don't want to prevent that. I want them to do it all.
That's what I'm saying. And you'd say that's all mental.
Yeah. So it is. So you're absolutely right. So it's like one foot in front of another. So I have a friend that actually, there's one of the hardest ultras called the Georgia Death Race. It's a really brutal ultra. One of my friends, he hikes the entire thing the whole time. He doesn't run once. just hikes the entire time. If you're moving, you can complete most ultras. All right? If you're just moving, that's all it can, like, and the other thing that I can say is, like, as you're moving, cheer each other on. Like, you'll get that from each other. Like, you'll get that from yourself. You'll get that from other people. Volunteers, freaking hug them, give them high fives, stuff like that. It's all mental. It is all mental. Any other questions? So obviously, I mean, if anybody needs any more advice, I love giving advice for ultras. Again, oh yeah, do you have a question?
When things do get hard and, you've got like negative self-talk going on and you are just in the pain cave, what do you tell yourself? What do you do? And how do you train yourself mentally?
I love that question. So this goes back to like mental. So my biggest advice is, first of all, before the race. So mental toughness starts before the race. So for example, has anybody heard of the death race, the Spartan death race? I finished it 4 times. All right. I looked in a mirror every single day before that race, before the first time I ever did it. For those that don't know, it's like 75 hours long. You're wearing a rucksack. No sleep. They just beat the crap out of you. I was on the staff for it this winter. It was so much fun. I know. Yeah. I know. People pay good money for this, again. So I literally looked in the mirror. I didn't say, I'm not going to finish. I just said, I'm going to finish the death race. I'm going to finish the death race. Same thing for my first Killington Ultra. I'm going to finish the Killington Ultra. And I've had numerous times where I've been in that pain cave, where I've been injured. This past World's Toughest Mudder, I almost broke a rib on the obstacle. And I kept saying my mantra. You have to have a good mantra. Like, mine was like, I'm a beast. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. Every single time. I just kept repeating it over in my head. I'm a beast. It was beast. But kids right here. So, but yeah, you have to have you have to, before even the race, get into that positive mindset, wherever it's meditation, in front of the mirror, whatever. I'm going to finish this race. And then during the race, get back into that mantra. During the other one, it was, I'm a champion. I'm a champion. I'm a beat. Whatever it is. Have somebody, like my first death race, my son, like I kept saying, like, do this for him. Do this for him. Like, think about your why, and that will get you past those. Because that's the best part about ultras. It's a roller coaster. You'll get like into a really dark side, and once you get out of it, it's like the biggest high of highs. It's amazing. So, yeah, really good question. Anything else? I don't want to talk this whole time because I know we have some amazing other speakers. So, all right. So if anybody has any more questions, please just come up to me. Like, hit me up on Facebook, whatever. I love giving advice because I've been there. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. The only other thing I'll add to that is to dice it up into 1 mile races, right? Regardless of the distance. I'm like, all right, mile 2. All right, mile 3. All right, mile 17. All right, mile 18. And just, if you focus on the end, it makes it way worse. All right, coming up next, give this man a round of applause. This is the co-owner of Ultimate Obstacles. Opened up his business so we could have this event. This is Yarrick.
How are we doing today, guys? Good? Good. All right. I just want to come up here. Thank you guys all for coming down. A lot of people behind this. We had all the vendors that came out to take their time to be with us today. We had Steve and the entire team putting this all together. Big shout out to them. And then we had all you guys that came out here. Steve's been doing this every year. I'm not going to try to take his talk from him, but I was able to be a part of it this year. You guys are coming out, so this talk isn't really for you guys. You guys are doing the community thing. You guys are getting together. You guys are having fun, all right? This is what we want to do, but we want to get the other people out too. So you guys came here, drag your friends out next time. Drag your relatives out next time. Okay, get some new people out here. Like, we want this to just keep on growing. We want to have more fun. The more we participate in these things, the more they happen. So I really appreciate you guys coming down. I hope you guys had a blast here today. I hope to see you guys again at the races, down at the gym, at someone else's gym, where we're at, hitting the races, the long ones, the short ones. Outside of that, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and we'll see you guys around. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, our final speaker. This is Billy Richards. He is a Marine. First and foremost, thank you for your service. He's an OCR and marathon world record holder. Billy, come on up.
All right, so I figured I'd come out, share my story with everybody, how I got into this, and
hopefully you guys take a little something away from it, maybe like be inspired, So I got into running around running events and stuff like around 2010. It didn't really start out with OCR. It started out while I was still in the military. See, I did 2 separate terms of service. So I started out as a Marine. I was in the Marine Corps from 99 to, I went on terminal in 2003. I did 2 deployments there. And then I got out for 6 years. I was a personal trainer during that time. And about 6 years after I was out, I actually did like this little project, or I named it after myself, called Project Billy. I wanted to inspire my clients by gaining a ton of weight and then losing it. So I purposely gained about 70 pounds, and then I shredded it down in like about 3 months. But the entire time I did it, I documented it online. I had like theme workouts and everything. So on week 13, my last week, I did a military theme workout. So when I did this workout, I went to the bathroom to get changed. I put the cami paint on, all that other stuff. And I took a look in the mirror, and I thought that something was missing in my life. And I saw myself in uniform, and I said to myself I wanted to go back. So I went back in. This time I went into the Army. I tried to get back in the Marine Corps, but they're not really kind of prior service because I had a 5-year gap. Had I went within the 4 years after, I could have just filtered back in. But I went in and I attempted the Special Forces program. So I was a sergeant when I went in. They started me at about week 5 of boot camp, and it was just one little training phase after another. I went boot camp, I went airborne school, then I went Special Forces prep course, and I went Special Forces assessment and selection. And then after that, I did a leadership course. Then I went through language school. And while I was in language school, that's when I started running events. It all started out as with the Army birthday 10-miler. And then after that, I shot up to a 10K, and then I went directly to a marathon. So in the beginning, I did it as something to do with my friends. When I was in the course, every 6 weeks, we had what was called a gate week. So during this gate week, in order to stay in the course, you had to do a 5-mile run in under 40 minutes. You had to do a 12-mile road march with 45 pounds dry, meaning no consumables. So when you weighed your pack, you'd have to dump your water in your MREs. So what was left over had to be 45 pounds. And then, our IOD made us do 6 rope climbs, and then first class APFT. Well, I was scheduled to do my first marathon, and they had rescheduled our 12-mile road march to that Monday. So my friend bailed on it, but I had never ran a marathon before. I was like, yeah, I could do this, whatever. So I go out. That marathon time is still my PR. It's the ultimate OCD nightmare. My time was 3:33:32. For a marathon, it was 3:33:32. That was my finish time. So I was actually disappointed that I didn't finish 1 second slower. But the next day, I come back out, and I still ended up finishing the road march in about 2 hours and 15 minutes. We had 3 hours to do it. And while I was weighing my pack, one of my friends walks up to me. He's like, damn, dude, didn't you just run a marathon yesterday? So the cadre stops me, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute. Did you run a half or a full? So I'm like, oh, I ran a full, sergeant, And I think I'm going to get a pat on the back here, though. Like, if I were in the Marine Corps, they would have said, hoorah, great job. But I was in Special Forces training, so they were like, whoa, wait a minute. What the hell is wrong with you? You could have been a heat cat. You could have been this. You could have been that. You know what? Don't even do push-ups. Just go over to the formation and stand there at parade rest. You probably enjoy it too much. So, that's the story behind my first marathon.
Okay, this one is Obstacle Running Adventures. It has 0015678. Oh yeah, Mini Beast. Melissa Malone. Obstacle Running Adventures.
All right, buddy.
Did horrible last time that I remember.
Oh, no, you did fine. Name and where you're from.
My name is Darren, and I am from Just Right Entertainment.
Awesome. And what was your role in today's expo?
I was a DJ for the day.
Did you have fun out there?
I had a great time. I love playing music. I like seeing people's energy, so it works well.
Yeah. And what'd you think about the venue this year compared to last year? A little different, huh?
Very different. This venue was much bigger. I feel like there was a lot more things to do, a lot more activities, and a little bit more family friendly as well. Like there was a lot of different activities for kids. I think that's really good.
Yeah. And where can people find out more about Just Right Entertainment? How can they hire you for their events?
Oh, yeah. You can find me on Instagram. It is Just Right, R-I, so JUSTRIGHTRI. And my website, Just Right Entertainment.
Awesome. Good seeing you again, man.
You too. Thanks. Take care.
Mike Kantor in Marlborough, Massachusetts.
And how'd you enjoy your time at the expo today?
It was great. I was kind of part of the committee helping to run it, but I also ran the 100 meter, the DECA Strong, for my first time ever. And I think it was just a great turnout and a great experience in general.
Awesome. So I missed just about everything with the 100 meters. So how did that go for you?
I got all the obstacles. I just love how accessible it was. Like, maybe the hardest thing was some like wheels kind of going on an upwards incline. But it was fun. Of course, in the Olympic course, this could be like one straight line without looping, but I thought it was really great. It's fun, and it's like I'm excited to see it in the Olympics going forward.
Should be interesting, yeah. When we get there, we're getting there. And then how was the DECA for you? First DECA, right?
Yes, it was my first DECA, and it felt kind of brutal. I finished it in under 20 minutes, which people say is good, but I was redlined and exhausted and just like absolutely beat.
Yeah, I was redlined and I got 35 minutes, so we are not the same.
I'm just an average guy that works out. I don't know what to tell you.
You work out though. Well, favorite and least favorite station? Oh yeah, I did do the mile. That's true.
The farmer's carry was absolutely the worst part because I don't think I've ever lifted a single 60-pound dumbbell in my life, and then I lifted two, and I carried them, so that was tough. My favorite station was definitely the rower. It's just like I feel like I've got it down. I've got my motion down, and it was fun. Ski ergs seemed to go well, and everyone says I look good, even though it always feels really awkward for me.
It's an awkward one, but yeah, it's a fun one for sure.
Yeah, it was so cool. Honestly, I just loved seeing everyone else doing it, and like I love that it was part of the expo. Like people that I don't think would have normally done the DECA, like me, were out there doing it, and it's just like this is the thing that inspires me about OCR in general. You see other people who have like really a harder time than you for any number of reasons out there giving it their best, giving it their all, and it's just such an inspiration to me because like when I get to that point or that age, I want to be putting in the effort just like them.
Sorry, I'm distracted. Steve is beating up Caitlin. Steve is beating up Asa over here.
Asa's in a headlock right now. Can confirm.
And he started it. So sorry, but yeah. And then overall, like, what did you do to help out? I know things were super busy.
So I helped create the PowerPoint with the vendor slides. I'm working on the background. I'm trying to be part of like the finance committee and the trying to find a venue for next year, and just help with some of the setup. I'm going to help with the breakdown, and since I paid for everything, I was doing the events, but like I really want to have a bigger role in the background of the New England OCR Expo, just because of what it is, because of what it represents. It's a cause that's near and dear to my heart, and I just want to give back to it.
So did you go to the two other expos or just last year?
No, I went to both other expos, and I kept my little bingo card from both of them as a physical memento.
I didn't get to fill out mine. I keep forgetting. I don't have time for it. But how would you compare the venues over the years?
So the first 2 years, I think 2020 and 2022, were both at country clubs. This year was at Ultimate Obstacles in West Boylston. I felt like this venue was way more appropriate. There's people coming in, seeing the obstacles, wanting to play on them. Likely, like me, people want to come back later when, Ultimate Obstacles is open for full service with things to play on and the schoolyard. And I just think this venue could not have been more perfect for what the New England OCR Expo is going for. Like this, it has a vibe here that's kind of like a bit more like, it's out here doing things. It's not like we're trying to get ritzed up and trying to get dressed up to do things and not putting on a show. It's just like people were here in athletic clothes. It felt very reminiscent of really what OCR is and what OCR embodies to me. So I loved it. If nothing else happens, I would love to be back here next year if it does happen here.
And last week the downloads were really good, but I think so a lot of people listen. But what's coming up for you again?
Oh goodness, I should always prepare for this question better. If you actually give me a second, I can rattle some of them off. So I have the Spartan New Jersey Trifecta Weekend next weekend. Then I'm going to be going to either Noob Sandy Mud Gauntlet or the Wason Pond Wrangler in New Hampshire. Then Toughest Mudder Philly. I just won a raffle for X-Men race.
Hey,
in Canada, so I might go there. Goliathon, the rest of the 2024 Ultra Cup Series. I'm getting a Spartan Trifecta. I might get next to. I'm going to do the Tough Mudder Holy Grail Series, Savage Race. If there's racing happening anywhere around here, I'm going to be there.
And then final thoughts on the Expo.
I love it. Thank you for everything you do, Steve and Dawn and Katie and really Mike, sorry, and Caitlin and just everyone else that's behind it. This is a wonderful cause. It really shows to me like what the OCR community embodies, and I just love this. Promoting our sport. It's promoting like the kindness that we always see on course, and that like spectators may not always get to see. Right. And it's just inclusiveness, kindness, togetherness, and I absolutely love. I preach OCR to everyone, and like the New England OCR Expo absolutely embodies that.
And where can people find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram as the OCR Dog and on Facebook as Michael Kantor.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.
Robert Foster, Charlestown, Rhode Island.
Your role in the Expo today?
MC, 3 years in a row.
Yeah. How'd it go?
It went great. It's like, I like it personally because I get to roam. and
just get to see all the things.
Yeah, I get to roam, I get to interact, I get to challenge people, play with the kids, so it's fun.
It was fun because like I'd play a game of like Where's Rob Now, and I could hear you like in the 100 meter, in this and that. Like he really gets to see everything, and I got to live the Expo through you while I was doing other things, so I really appreciated that too. Awesome. What'd you think of the venue this year?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Like if it could come back here next year, I think that would be a score. So many things to do. Like if anyone was sitting down scrolling on their phone, like they were missing out.
Battleship, basketball, the stupid ring toss game that people play when they're drunk.
Yep.
Human foosball. Yep. There's so much good stuff here.
Yeah, giant chess over there.
Yes.
Another ping pong table, shuffleboard, and then of course all the physical challenges. So it's great.
Did you also see that there's it's out of order right now, but there's like an operation game over there too?
Yes, I did see that.
They have it all.
Literally everything.
I'm looking up on the ceiling and I see Can Jam up there too. So.
Oh yeah.
It's phenomenal. So I want to come back here too.
Yes.
And how are you feeling about the turnout and how everything went on that side?
I think it went well. I mean, you can always have more people, but overall, I think it went well. You know, the vendors all seem to have kept pretty busy. The DECA, I think he said 38 people went through the DECA event.
Yeah.
You know, good amount of people went through the 100-meter course. Yeah. So, yeah.
Unfortunately, I missed most of that. But it looked like it was a good time. People were having a good time here.
Yes, yeah. I think just moving the venue up here, we kind of lost the Rhode Island crowd because anything more than 20 minutes is like an overnight trip in Rhode Island. So
I'll never understand that, but yeah.
It's crazy.
And then plug the gym that you're working at, Manic.
Yeah, so Manic Training, we have 2 locations, one in Wakefield, Rhode Island, and I manage the one in East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Okay. Functional fitness, high intensity, and people are getting great results.
Yeah. And then also your podcast, Shut Up and Grind.
Shut Up and Grind, yeah. So I have guests on from all over the world, and we talk about stories of struggle and overcoming obstacles. Yeah, so each episode's motivational, inspirational.
Where can people find out more about the gym, the podcast, and you yourself on social media?
So the gym is manictrainingri.com. My podcast, you can find it on all the platforms, Apple, Spotify,
wherever
Google.
You're listening to this one.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just search for Shut Up and Grind, and you'll see my smiling face.
Yeah. And then what about you on social media?
The most traction I get is on Facebook. So I'd say you can either search for my name, Robert B. Foster. It's me with 2 women planking on top of me. That's my profile picture. Or it's facebook.com/rfoster74.
Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and great job emceeing the event again today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Katie Callahan, West Greenwich, Rhode Island.
And what was your role in today's festivities?
I'm the secretary on the board of directors, and I handle event day planning, logistics, management.
I'm on the board too. Why don't I get a fun title? I've been asking for a fun title, and I don't have one. Anyway, you were also the DECA judge for us too.
I did. I pitched in. DECA was kind of running a little bit behind, so at one point I was certified to be a CrossFit judge. So same things, popped in there, helped out. It was so fun, inspiring. I teared up once or twice as a couple of people were competing and pushing through their own personal obstacles were, and it was so inspiring, and everyone did so great. Yeah.
So before you were volunteering there, did you get to zoom out? How did you enjoy the expo before that?
Before volunteering, so I was able to, after setup and all of that, able to walk around, got to watch a couple of the 100 meters go, went through the stations, got to meet some folks. We had some awesome vendors here today. super engaged, super empowering, like super here for the community, which I thought was really good. And I think what I really liked was the vendors seemed to really get along together. So it was like an awesome community type, right? You met some new friends. Yeah, it was a good. This was a bigger event than we've ever had, and I think it went really well. I think this venue was perfect. I think. Oh, you want to talk about the venue? Yeah, absolutely. Oh. If you can't see, but I'm holding a dodgeball right now because we're ready to like play a little after, get some energy out. And but this venue is perfect. Like it's split up. You have the play yard, which is, I mean, I'm looking at a human like life-size battleship right now. But yeah, it was broken up really nice. It was sectioned out for the vendors, really nice. The deck on the other side, a common area in the middle, and the 100-meter was on the other side of the building. This place is huge. It really is. And it's so fun. Anybody listening, come here off the expo. Like, come to this place.
So I'm going to tell you, I haven't interviewed Yarrick yet, but he said it's like a $10 drop-in rate, and you can stay until they close. What the hell, yeah.
I'm 100% coming now, just to play on a Saturday, and we've already made plans with a couple of people. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is so fun. But yeah, this was Expo. Live for it every year. So awesome. Come down if you're listening to this. Super successful. Come down next year. We're going to have it. We're not hopefully here again, but we can let y'all know as we get forward. But yeah,
how much are you looking forward to getting your Thursdays back?
Well, it kind of just shifts from one to the other. I volunteer for Find Your Bold too, so we're picking up now for Find Your Bold season. So a little plug there for Find Your Bold. Yeah.
And thanks for all the work that you did. I appreciated you as a DECA judge.
And we're going to call you Captain of Vendor Relations.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. A working title. Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Joshua Fiore from Lebanon, New Hampshire.
How was your Expo experience today?
Oh, it was amazing. This was, I was here last year and the year before. This was just unbelievable. Ultimate Obstacles. Yeah, the venue was like just absolutely insane. There, we had like DECA Strong, we had the 100 meter, tons and tons of vendors, like all kinds of, I think like probably double the people are here last year. So it's awesome. It was so amazing.
You also gave a talk which seemed to be well received. I like that you opened it up for questions too.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to talk about myself the whole time.
It's good advice that can help other people that are looking to be maybe not world champions, but like just to push themselves more.
Absolutely. I mean that's like why I always wanted to get to that level of like what a quote unquote like elite or professional, because I want to like inspire other people. Like I want those people to be like, wow, like I can accomplish this. I can, start from like a 5K and like finish like an ultra. Like that's amazing. Like for people to be able to do that in their life, just that's why I do this.
And very out of your wheelhouse, but how did the DECA go for you?
It was good actually. It definitely not on my wheelhouse. Yeah, no, I'm happy though. 15 minutes. I definitely need to improve on a lot of things for the DECA Strong. But
what were your least favorite stations out there?
Man, least favorite. Definitely the burpee, Spartan Ram burpees. Yes, definitely need to work on my shoulder presses. The ski erg almost threw up there. That was fun. Yeah. I actually surprisingly, I know like nobody else says this, I actually really like the assault bike.
Okay, really?
And the sled. I love those two. Those are probably my two favorites. Yeah. You just get to like just keep going. Yeah.
I like the ski erg, one, because the handles look like little Shrek ears.
Yeah.
And two, like that's where I can kind of breathe and pace myself and catch up. But the assault bike and the burpees are rough. Also the farmer's carry I struggle with.
Normally I like the ski erg, but like I said, like I definitely like ate way too much right before I started, and it almost came up. So
I'm hearing a lot of people talk about how it's like the sit-ups right before that too. So there's a lot of like core-ish.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that definitely like affects like your stomach, and just you already feel you're like. I think the other part too is like you're like, oh crap, I'm only like halfway done this thing. I still have a lot more left.
I've heard some people have told me like the race doesn't start until you get to the assault bike. So that's like another way of thinking about it too.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, actually. That's definitely because, and again, like those actually, I felt good being an endurance athlete with those two until I get to those ram burpees.
What hurt me the most is like just the compromised running or the compromised working out is like it just burns your lungs so badly. And you don't really get that in ultras.
Oh, absolutely not. Like you have that kind of rest. Even, I haven't done like the DECA Fit or the DECA Mile, but it seems like even that running, even though like you're still going at a fast pace, you at least get to like have that blood return back to your legs, back to like everywhere else, instead of just being like distributed into your arms and you're just toasted by that point.
So what's next for you? What events are you taking on this year?
So I have the Spartan Jersey race next week, so I'll be doing the Ultra. After that, I got a couple of ultras, mainly like in mountain ultras in Vermont, and then to the Spartan Ultra World Championship in France. You got it, yeah.
Have you been to France before?
Nope, never been. So I'm excited. I've seen the pictures. It looks gorgeous. I mean, I'm can't wait to be on that mountain and competing with people from all over the world. So that's the best part.
Great time. And then World Toughest Mudder again?
You got it. Oh, I after what happened last year, I gotta come back.
Totally fair. And where can people find you on social media?
Ultra Beast Josh on Instagram and just Josh Fiore on Facebook.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
It's Billy Richards. I'm from Long Island, New York.
And how did you enjoy the Expo today?
I thought it was awesome. It was a good time. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I didn't really get to do the races or anything because I'm injured, but I got to speak. I got the opportunity to give a speech and everything and tell my story and everything.
Yeah, it was great having you here. And I heard that you canceled the Tough Mudder to get here.
Yes. Yeah, no, it was definitely worth it though because my plan was to drive to Atlanta.
Okay. Quite the drive, right?
Yeah, so coming from Long Island, it was about 3.5 hours, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay, got it.
And I kind of needed the recovery anyway.
Fair. Playing smart about it.
Yeah.
So just condensing your speech a little bit, what are some of like your favorite events that you've done over the years? Meant the most to you?
No, I don't know. Like I said, I've done a lot of Spartans and everything. Spartan's always at a place in my heart, though. It's kind of like the original obstacle course race.
Right.
I think the most notable one was probably the Mogollon Monster 100.
Okay.
And that was one where we actually got shot at because there was some like people there that were like doing target shooting in the distance, and I guess they didn't realize that there was a race going on. So I was running down the mountain and I started hearing ricochets, and nobody got hit, but it was just kind of interesting.
I can just really imagine the PTSD from that. And just what advice would you give to someone that's thinking about trying to tackle their first ultra?
Yeah, well, it depends on the distance of the ultra. Like for a 100 mile, for example, like it's more strategy than anything. Like you need a base level of fitness, obviously, but it's more or less like you need to know the type of course, whether it's out and back, multi-lap, point to point. You need to basically just have a plan. Some ultras like the aid stations are well stocked, so you don't really need anything. You definitely need to carry a water source though, at least. Yeah, and then there's others where they might be self-sustaining, so then you have, so it's a lot of preparation. And then if the flat ones, you have to come up with a pacing plan. The terrain ones, usually you would like power hike the mountains and run the downhills and flats.
Right.
So depending on, because I did it kind of wrong the first time and I got rhabdo. And that was a completely flat race because the flat ones are the killers because using the same muscle. Yeah.
Yep.
So... yeah, but that's it. That's what I could think of for right now. I mean, it's just more strategy than anything.
And what's next for you, and where can people find you on social media?
Well, my Instagram is Billy the Ultra Beast, and then on Facebook I'm just Billy Richards. I have like 2 pages up, but I'm just using my regular profile right now.
Okay.
But that's where you can find me. And then up next, I'm doing the Jersey Trifecta next weekend, Fayetteville weekend after that, and then after that I found another stretch of 8 marathons in 8 days. So I'm going to do that leading into Toughest Mudder East. So if I could pull it all off, and the hardest part's going to be the driving, because the marathons aren't that bad. They're all in bordering states.
Okay,
so there are 8 different states, but it's along like the prairie region in the middle of the country.
Okay.
But the hardest part's going to be Toughest Mudder starts at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and I have to get there from the Minnesota-North Dakota border.
Damn, okay, yeah.
So I Googled it. It's about a 20-hour drive.
Okay.
So with a really slow finish time, like I'm probably going to have with the ruck and everything, I'm estimating about 26 hours of leeway. So I'd pretty much have... Yeah, so I'm going to have to... because there's going to be some point, like especially after all those marathons, where I'm going to have to bed down and go to sleep for at least like 4 hours or so. So, yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming out here, and hope more people follow along with your badassness.
No, thank you.
Good to see you again.
My name's Bradley, and I'm from Warwick, Rhode Island.
What was your role in the Expo today?
I hosted the Deca race here.
How do you think it went?
It went fantastic. We had so many different new people experiencing Deca. So they did the Deca Strong today, so there's no running.
Yep.
And they are so interested in taking it a step further and doing the Deca Mile.
I love that. And speaking of Deca Mile, you put on events, right? Tell me about It Starts Here Fitness.
So we've been celebrating, this year makes 10 years celebrating business, and I've been a DECA affiliate for about 3 years now. So we hold both the DECA Strongs and the Miles at the events. Our newest race that we're going to have that's coming up is the DECA Mile OEW fundraiser on June 30th.
So tell us, like, what made you want to like reach out to them and do a fundraiser with them?
Well, it all started with New England Expo. Last year, Earl Greenville came down and was one of the speakers. I never met Earl before, but he's my cousin.
Oh, no shit.
Yep. So what ended up happening was I woke up and go, Earl, I'm your cousin. And it was like a big like nostalgia thing. And then I learned that he was part of OEW. And like, I'm a huge advocate. I do a lot of stuff with multiple sclerosis. And I thought this would be a good lie-in to do something different, especially support the veterans that really need it, really need support, and find purpose, find passion again. And doing physical and mental challenges is how OEW helps fulfill that for those individuals.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell us again, when's the date of that event?
June 30th. And what I'm doing is donating half of my ticket profits to OEW. So if we sell out on this event, it's going to be an over $4,000 check to OEW to continue their passion helping wounded veterans and wounded police and law enforcement. We have sponsorships helping out with that. We have vendors out there. We have a food truck out there, raffle items. So, for those that just want to have fun and maybe they're not sure if they can do a DECA mile, do it with a partner. Okay, split the load, have fun, celebrate fitness while supporting a fantastic organization helping our veterans.
Absolutely. And then what were your thoughts on the Expo? Did you get to enjoy everything else, or were you kind of just stuck at the DECA station all day?
Well, I want people to have a fantastic experience with the DECA, so I pretty much stayed at the DECA station, made sure things went smooth, organized, we got their medals, T-shirts. It's all about them, especially the ones that never did a DECA before. We want to make sure that they knew what to do before they even race, and then they executed flawlessly.
Yeah, it was great. Did you see if there was like a lot of first-timers here too, or?
I want to say about half of them are first-timers. Yeah, sure. And then I really, talked about, taking it to the next level. For those that are not familiar with DECA, that is a subdivision of Spartan. Yeah. The DECA Strong is the baseline, no running. The DECA Mile, you run 160 meters before every zone. And then you have the DECA Fit, which is a 5K. So 500 meters before every zone. Put them all together in 1 year, you got a trifecta. So not a lot of people know about it. They just, hey, this looks like a cool event. Let me try it out.
That's why I have the pie piece, though. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, so, everything's about celebrating fitness. And what I love about DECA more than OCR and everything else is it's made for everyone. I want to say when I first launched a couple of DECA races at the studio, Amy Haskell and Andy, her husband, came by. I helped with her through the phone prior to do it. She has multiple sclerosis, and she's been at my event every single time. She even did the Fit and PA last year. So DECA Fit is made for those people that, you don't have to be an athlete or a cyborg training. It's made for them. Yeah. But then again, I do have those crazy ones that it's made for the World Championship. So it's a combination. It brings both fitness levels into one atmosphere. And it's all about fitness. So, hurrah for the great job for the cyborgs and whatnot. But people like Amy and people struggling for fitness, the passion that they have, the dedication they put into it. And I see them come around every single time I host one, which is once a quarter. It's great to see the same faces and seeing them trying to push and beat their time for the next round.
And where can people find out more about It Starts Here Fitness?
Well, you can find out more about us on the website. It's www.ishfitness.com. You can find us on Facebook, find us on Instagram. All the races are going to be on that as well. And we do a lot of information about, quarterly challenges too. That's the other thing that DECA is great at. Creating quarterly challenges in between the races that keeps people motivated, keep the camaraderie going. Yeah. And you know what? You get a certification when you complete the challenges, along with obviously the certifications when completing a DECA race too. So it ties everything into one.
Yeah, love it. Well, great talking to you again, and hopefully we'll have some room to go to that event.
I'd love to have you guys down there. And anybody looking for a fun time, June 30th.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Eric Matta from Maynard, Massachusetts, here at Schoolyard and Ultimate Obstacles.
So how long have you been here?
So the gym, Ultimate Obstacles, we just passed our 8-year mark. So we've been going for 8 years strong. And Schoolyard, we've had it now for 3 years.
How has it been like seeing this place grow? I'm sure it didn't start off this awesome immediately, right?
Yep. So no, there was a growth phase, then there was a pandemic phase to kind of shelter, make it through. But it's grown back again. between the adult programs, the kid programs, it came back. So it's just been awesome, right? It's a community. It's a place for all of us to get together, work out, push ourselves, train hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
In the perfect venue. I think everyone agreed that this was the best venue that we've ever had for the Expo. How do you feel that the Expo went?
I think it went great. I was working on the 100-meter side. Selfishly, I put myself over there so I could play on the 100-meter the entire day. But that being said, every time I popped over here, looking at the Expo, we saw smiling faces, happy people, just people talking, having a good time. A biased opinion, but I thought it was the best venue. But honestly, right? We were able to set up a 100-meter course indoors. We were able to hold the DECA indoors with plenty of space. Vendors had their space and everything. There's games going on. It really was a place for people to hang out, talk, catch up, play the game. So I loved having it here. Yeah. Truly loved it.
I already talked to Rob Foster, and we talked about some of the many, many games and stuff, fun toys that you guys have here. It's so much to speak of there too. But what is the business side like? So obviously you have ninja courses for kids, but if someone wants to drop by, how does all that work for?
Yep. For Ultimate Obstacles, we have the drop-in hours. We do the drop-in open gym from Friday to Mondays. So Fridays and Mondays, it's around 4 to 8 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays are 1 to 5 p.m. Come as long as you want. It's not time ticket or anything like that. You come down there 4 hours if you want to spend the whole 4 hours. And it's open play, so you get to try this obstacle over here, that one over there. We do a really good job of changing it up. I say we. I have to give the credit to Coach Keenan. Every single week he's switching it up for our team kids. We're always switching up, so different challenges all the time. So that's dropping over there. And then at the schoolyard side, same thing. We have a ton of games here. The family hours for the kids are also on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We don't have anything during the week so much. It's more the adult co-ed leagues that come in during the week, since we have the bar here, the games for the entertainment and everything. So we do have the family hours on the weekend, but it's also a fun adult place to play games and have fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
Awesome. UltimateObstacles.com for the gym, and go to Schoolyard, and that's YAHD, Schoolyard.com for the bar side.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming down.
Steve Bacon, Hope Valley, Rhode Island.
And what was your role in the Expo today?
My role was to walk around and, I don't know, what was my role?
To be found.
Yeah.
I would say one of the very few critiques that I have is you should have a big bacon slice or something on your shirt, because everyone's like, which one's Steve Bacon?
No, but
he's the bald guy.
But that was the part of the adventure.
Yeah.
Was finding me. And sometimes I would hear Rob, the MC, saying, "Where's Steve Bacon?" I would duck a little bit. Because we're obstacle racers. We don't want things easy.
That's good.
We want a little challenge.
Another obstacle.
Yeah.
How do you feel the Expo went this year?
Absolutely exceeded all expectations in every way, shape, and form.
So one of the ways, shapes, or form is the DECA. So did you get to enjoy watching the DECA?
Absolutely. We had a lot of amazing competitors out there. Big, small, men, women, kids, people of all athletic levels, which is always amazing to see people out there grinding it out.
And then did you get to watch the 100-meter course? That's what I missed the most.
I did. That is awesome.
Yeah.
It's literally like watching an episode of American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
And to think those are going to be our Olympic athletes.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, every time I went over there was kids, and I don't want to interview kids because I'd have to talk to the parents, but it was a great time seeing that too. And then the vendors, I think we fit very nicely in the little pickleball court.
Yeah. I mean, it blew all our expectations out of the water.
Yeah.
We planned hard. We were a big, awesome team, including yourself, and spent countless hours on this, laboring over details, the little details that make it as awesome as it is.
Yeah.
We had an awesome variety of vendors. We had a lot of small races, and that is huge. Canada. And the awesome thing about Canada is they reached out to us. We didn't know about them. I don't think anybody up here knew about them. They found us, reached out to us. I said, I want you guys to come. I want you to have a table and meet people, talk to people, build relationships, because that's literally a huge part of why we do what we do.
We need to, OCR isn't just in Rhode Island. It's not just in New England. It's out there. You got to travel. You got to support these events, and there's some wonderful events out there.
Yeah, it really, really is.
So you thinking about adding a couple more races to your calendar? That you
Absolutely. I mean, we got Natticook Challenge. I'm going to try to get to that. ASA, we were already planning on Viking. The 30th, June 30th, but sounds like he might change that. I hope he doesn't, because I already have days off for that weekend. Boo. And X-Man, we're gonna do everything we can to see sounds and looks like an amazing race. The people are phenomenal. Sarah was here, and her team, absolutely amazing. So we're absolutely going to try to do everything we can to put a crew together and get up there.
And I know you're like me sometimes. Sometimes you see the things that could do better. So anything that you notice that you can improve upon for next year? Maybe we'll listen to this next year. Remember,
God, that's really hard right now because
more judges for DECA. That's
more judges for DECA. Yep, that's a tough. I mean,
really think of.
yeah, and I mean
really
we're
well
and we're literally here at the very peak of the event. It's hard to really even think about that right now because it's just so overwhelming, positive, celebratory. I mean, we do absolutely want to take some time and, all right, what went really, really well? Awesome, we're going to do that again. Yeah. What could have been done better? Awesome, we're going to focus on that. Yeah. You know, what more can we do to get the word out? What more can we do to bring more races and more community in?
I took so many videos. I think we keep sharing them. I just talked to Dawn, and she said she's going to share some of the stories. But, like, we keep getting out there, like, hey, this was a kick-ass time. And guess what? If you weren't here, you missed out. You should be here next year.
There really is, this is traditionally, two types of people. The people who came to the expo and said, oh my God, it was the best time ever. And all the people who hear about it from their friends be like, oh my God, I wish I would have gone.
Yeah. So I'm hoping with the Woodle or the medal that we have for the virtual race, more posts, this and that, I think we could really build this up more. But I know there's always like that crunch of like no one signed up. And then the last week, like everyone signs up.
Oh my God, it was
gets
a
us every time.
tsunami of entries in the last week.
Yeah. It feels good.
It does. It really, really does.
And any final thoughts on the expo this year?
Just how, for me, how overwhelming it was. The people, the love, the care, the community come together. People making new connections, new friends, strengthening. There was a lot of reuniting happening.
I've seen Billy with X-Men Race, with this person, with this.
Yep.
It's like a crazy.
And we had Sandra Sawyer here, who's now part of the team.
Turns out I have met her.
Yeah, she was able to reconnect with several different people that she hadn't seen in a while, and that's just awesome because it's all of that wraps into why we do it.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to a couple more Thursdays and then getting my Thursdays back, but we're gonna be planning for next year, and I'm expecting bigger and better.
Absolutely.
Welcome back.
Thank you to everyone who took the time to talk to us both on and off the mic, and especially to our potential new listeners. We hope you guys stick around. Downloads weren't great for last episode, but hopefully they...
But we're happy you're here.
Yes, yeah. For related episodes, you could go back to episodes 164, which was the first annual New England OCR Expo preview with Steve Bacon Martin. That was the first time we were learning more about the Expo.
Episode 165, the New England OCR Expo and Party.
Yeah, that was from 2020 when I covered that event. There's also Strength and Speeds Season 7, Episode 3, which was the OCR Expo with Mike Stefano.
Episode 320, the return of New England OCR Expo with Steve Bacon Martin.
That's when we were getting more information about the 2022 event. We kind of took a year off because of the pandemic. Or 2023. No. What year is it?
2024.
Yeah, okay, so this was the 2023 one. We took 2 years off. That makes more sense.
Episode 323, the second New England OCR Expo with vendors.
Yeah, that's when I covered that event. Strength and Speed did another episode. This was more recent, Season 8, Episode 8, Boulder Dash and New England OCR Expo with Lynn Hall.
And then last week's episode, episode 381, New England OCR Expo, Part 1, Vendors.
Perfect. Links down below, so would you kindly check those out?
Subscribe and follow wherever you get your podcasts. We are on all of the podcast players.
Yeah, you can also leave a review. The only place that we really check them is Apple Podcasts, but wherever you listen, if you could leave a review, just if someone else sees that, they can be like, oh, these people are legit. We'd appreciate that. But more than anything, please share the show with a friend. If we're not getting the downloads, just please, we need those downloads. listen to our stuff.
Right, if you like what you hear, keep listening.
Yes.
Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook at Obstacle Running Adventures.
Yeah, you can support us over on Patreon for as little as $2, as many as $10. That's a great way to financially support the show as well.
Hey, Mikey, what's coming up next?
Good question. So maybe Spartan Tri-State, since I didn't go to that, and that's usually like a good place to get interviews and stuff like that. Maybe I'll have someone on from that. But we will see who I feel like talking to this week. I haven't really made up my mind yet. It's like one of the only weeks that we don't have something planned for. Which is kind of nice because there's a lot of potential ideas that I have. So we will see. Caitlin, do you have a joke or a quote?
I have both. Okay. What do you call a chicken who tells jokes?
What?
Comedian.
Nice.
Comedian?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how my delivery was on that. And then, do you have a quote?
I have a joke.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. An old county boy with a bucket full of live fish was approached by a game warden. The game warden asked the man, "May I see your fishing license, please?" "No, sir, I don't have one. These are my pet fish." "Pet fish?" the game warden barked. "Yep. Once a week I bring these fish of mine down to the lake and I let them swim around for a while. Then I whistle and they swim right back into my net and I take them home. Hogwash. You're under arrest." He said, "It's the truth. I'll show you. We do this all the time." "We do now, do we?" smirked the warden. "Prove it." He released the fish into the lake and stood and waited. After a few minutes, the warden said, "Well?" "Well, what?" The warden asked, "When are you going to call them back?" "Call who back?" "The fish," replied the warden. "What fish?" I'm not even a big fisherman or whatever, but I thought that was pretty funny.
And then my joke, or not my joke,
Quote.
my quote is from Brene Brown, and she said, "I don't have to chase extraordinary moments to find happiness. It's right in front of me if I'm paying attention and practicing gratitude."
Oh, I'm always chasing extraordinary events so I can get happiness.
Maybe you just need to practice more gratitude in your life.
Maybe. That was supposed to be my word for this year. But that just about wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name is Caitlin Ritter.
And we'll talk to you next weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to subscribe to our show and write us a review on your favorite podcast app.
You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook and connect with us there.
Most importantly, we would appreciate it if you shared an episode with a friend so we can reach more ears
and continue to effectively shine a light on the people in our sport, as well as the events that we are so passionate about.
Our intro song is Streaker by Straight Up, and our outro music is Iron Call by The Best.
And if you hear that licking noise, that's Appa. That's the only noise he makes.
I know. You've been very patient, bud, just sitting here while we record.
I can't believe you let him on the desk.
Yeah. He's kind of minding his business, though. You're doing good, bud.
Just our over-groomer.